Hey y'all, it's me, Dr. Lynn Daniel, coming to you today. It is Monday, June 20th, 2022. I'm giggling because this is the second video that I have made for the day. The first video is about the erroneous teaching of the kingdom spouse. If you want to see that, if you are interested in that type of thing, go back and check out that video. But this video is just going to be a sit down, talk to you video like I used to do way back in the day in the 2013, 2014 era, when I would just come and chat about topics, relevant to what's going on. And so I'm off work today. I'm home. My daughter took a business trip, and her family will be joining her for the business trip. My youngest daughter, my oldest daughter is home doing her thing, enjoying the day, probably working in her vegetable garden and fruit garden. And I'm just here, chatted with my family, my mom, my siblings. And so I thought I would come make a video with you guys. So I want to talk a little bit about education, like the state of education right now. So, as you know, those of you who have been following me, I am an educator. So I've been a teacher. I just completed year 37. I spent the majority of that time teaching middle school English language arts. So 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. At that time, I helped to launch the Title I reading program in the middle school, at the middle school where I taught. I had a lot of great experiences there with a lot of great, excellent teachers and administrators. And then I moved to Phoenix. I moved to Phoenix in 2015. And I've been teaching here ever since. And I love it. I love it. I'm currently teaching high school. So this will be year 4 in high school. And I will be teaching seniors when the school year starts. Senior English. So the state of education, we need a lot of prayers, you all. Those of you who are praying people with the mindset of like praying for our safety, security, and our well-being, we need those kinds of prayers, because for some reason the state of education is being attacked in the realm of safety. And so I was listening to a couple of, I don't have a TV, so I don't watch television. I watch more YouTube than anything. And so I was watching, or just kind of gleaning through a couple of YouTube videos about, from a Judeo-Christian, from a Christian perspective, about the violence that has been released into the earth, and what they think is the cause of it and why it's happening. And yeah, like if you look in the book of Revelation, you can find out like what is the red horseman and all of those things. But education is just seeming to be targeted, man, right now. Just targeted. And so please pray for us that we will have safe returns to school, safe summer schools, safe campuses where our students' needs are being met. Our educators' needs are being met. Educators' needs are being met. Let me say it one more time. Educators' needs being met, really. Teachers need to be listened to. Teachers need to be heard, and then their contributions need to be acted upon. Teachers are the frontline soldiers. We see and we know what is going on with our students. Those of us who are in tune, we are observant. We do various surveys and different, approaches to help us understand our students. Y'all need to listen to us. So, yeah, y'all just pray for schools. But those of you who are teachers, so many teachers are pivoting out of education into tech. A lot of teachers are going into tech, educational tech, technology, security, and all different realms of tech. Customer support, customer success, and all of these different components of tech. And it's interesting, I'm very active on LinkedIn. Those of you who are not on LinkedIn, you can join me over there. I'm me, Lynn Daniel, PhD, over there on LinkedIn. So join me over there, building community through the Social Saturday Club. We are a very large community. We have grown like within the last few months, 2 months or so, to I think in the tens of thousands of members. And so many teachers who are leaving education are transitioning into tech. And that's interesting, you know? It's exciting to see them make the transition, and some of them land safely and do well, and then others land kind of like in a shaky position, and they share their experiences. And so there are a couple who are sharing their experiences where they were able to double their salary, but because their experience had been in education, they felt that their experience was not valued, or their perspective wasn't valued as much as their techie counterparts, you know? And so as an educator, we understand, we already know that we're not valued. We recognize that in this country, we don't value education, because education we don't earn money. Like, we don't bring earnings to the community, but we do. Really, we do. My sister was saying this. Yes, you all do. You all bring earnings to the table because teachers affect every industry in the country. You educate the students who go out into industry, and then they earn those industries money as an indirect and a direct impact of their educational experiences. But we just don't, in our country, we don't honor education as much as I see education being honored, like in the Asian cultures. So I know, like in South Korea, you know, when I look at videos from teachers in South Korea, and I hear their discussions about it and how they, you know, their feelings about it. When I look at documentaries of teachers who become tutors, but they are like superstar tutors. Now, when I say superstar tutors, it's like they are able to build a large clientele of students, and then they help some of those students excel on the standardized tests or whatever the structure is in those countries. And those teachers become like superstar teachers, and they're treated that way. And they earn millions of dollars, and they're able to, you know, contribute to their communities and all. But I just really wish our country would begin to love teachers again. There was a point in history and in time when teachers were loved. Like, my aunt was a teacher, my aunt by marriage. My uncle was a principal of an elementary school. I have cousins who are educators. And so I come from a long line of educators. And educators were loved at one time. We were revered and honored at one time. But I don't know what changed. Like, what made people start thinking we don't deserve to be honored? All of the training that goes into becoming a teacher and remaining a teacher. To remain a teacher, there's so much involved, so much training, so much professional development that you must continue your education. You must stay on top of your skills, because the trends change every so like 5 years or 3 to 5 years or whatever. And I know in tech, they say like the life cycle of a trend is 2.5 years. And it's pretty much the same in education. Like, if you're not staying abreast of your skills, especially with educational technology, you're going to be a dinosaur. And although I've been teaching 37 years, I finished Year 37, I'm going into year 38. I refuse to become an educational dinosaur. I refuse. I stay abreast. I work with younger teachers because those teachers are, I find in my experience, my younger teachers are really abreast with the technology, and then I'm really adept in all of the pedagogy and the theory behind it and the application of the theory and the instructional component, like how to take those lesson plans and bring them to life in the classroom. That's my expertise. I can show you how to do it. I can model it to you. I can demonstrate it. I can tell you about it. But there is an art and a science to taking the lesson plan and bringing it to life in the student's application and implementation of that lesson plan. So there, yeah. All right, so this is me giving you all like an old-fashioned sit down, talk to video on this Juneteenth Monday. We're honoring Juneteenth. Maybe I should make a video explaining what I think about Juneteenth. I will say that since I was a little girl, I understood what Juneteenth was. Fully, I didn't understand it. I was aware of Juneteenth as a young girl. And so, but I didn't fully understand what it represented. But now, folks are trying to commercialize Juneteenth. Y'all, cut it out. Stop trying to make money off of the suffering of black folks who were enslaved in this country. Please don't. Don't do it. Oh, Lord help us. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like the video, share it, become a part of my community. We are treasures here because we are gems. Be blessed. Bye.